Hey,
Hello and welcome, dearest Inspired podcast community, to our new episode. And my today's interview guest is not Florian K. It says in your subtitles, but it is Chris. And I met Chris through Florian, it's his husband, and we met in person twice. It was in Los Angeles in September at the Rami El Batrawi training event in Los Angeles. And also, I visited Chris and Florian in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It was a pleasure. And today I have the honor to interview you. And I would like to introduce you yourself.
okay. Well, my name is Kris Hodkinson. I'm a shamanic healer. As Caroline said, I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We just moved to a new place at the beginning of November. Basically, we moved from the west side of the city over to the east side in the foothills area. And we did have Caroline visit us for a few days a couple of weeks ago, which was great fun. We did some hiking in Embudo Canyon. We went down and toured Old Town, Albuquerque, which was a lot of fun. They had all the Christmas decorations up, and I have a Facebook group that I've it's been in existence for about 6 months. Right now, we have about 630 members, and this is the community of people who already have some practice in place, some modality, whether that be sound healing, acupuncture, um, could be any kind of a practice that is already in existence. And it's a private group that's by invitation only. And so, if you have a practice of your own and you would like to be a part of that, just simply reach out to me via Facebook DM. You can find me by looking up Christopher with a K, last name Hodkinson, Hodkinson, and we'll get you in the group. Now, I not only perform shamanic healing in person and via Zoom, I also offer a course to the members of the group, and that is a course instructing on how to become a shamanic healer. Anybody can do this. Not everyone is a shaman, but anyone can become a shamanic healer. The techniques of that are very simple. I couldn't tell you one person that I don't feel is capable of doing that unless they've got some deep mental issues, I would say. But otherwise, any normal person can learn how to do that and add it to their practice. And that's really what a big part of what that's all about.
Oh, thank you so much for these insights. And I remember when I was at your house, I had the pleasure to witness a shamanic healing session for myself. And this was really life-changing. I can tell you, I still feel the outcome, let's say, or the results of that. It felt really, really good. So it worked. I'm the proof. And yeah, let's go to the first question is what inspires you?
Well, the thing that inspires me more than anything is um, I'm going to say my spirit guide, excuse me, my spirit guides and power animals, because as a shamanic healer, I'm sort of the middleman. They refer to the shamanic healer as the hollow bone through which the spirit guides, power animals, and ancestors work. They do all the work. They really do. You as myself as a healer, I am simply the one that sets everything up and sets the stage for them to come in and do the healing. So they inspire me greatly. The other part of this that I find incredible is every day I learn something, from a member, or I'm watching someone else's live. It could be an article that they posted or whatnot, and I learn something new every day. So I don't know that I'm ever going to get to the point where I know everything, but I'm closer to that than I was a year ago. And so the fact that there is so much to learn still is very inspiring. I mean, I would be disappointed if a day went by that I didn't learn something new.
Oh, this sounds great. That means you are open to the opportunities to be inspired. And the other thing you said about the spiritual animals, I love that so much. I had the tendency to think, oh, these are things we don't see. We
Mhm.
don't see with our eyes, with our physical eyes. Maybe you can tell us more about the spiritual animals?
Yeah, the power animals.
Mhm.
These are basically whenever you start out as a shamanic healer. What I advise all of my students is this. The first thing that you need to do is identify your spirit guides and power animals. You have to assemble a team of, entities from non-ordinary reality. And so you've got, whenever you're starting out, uh, everything is based on journeying. Journeying is a form of meditation. And so what I have done and do for people in my group is if they have not yet identified their spirit guides and power animals, I can take them on a guided journey. And basically we journey to the lower realm. That's where the power animals are located. And, we'll walk through the lower realm. And important thing to know about the power animals is they choose you, not the other way around. So you just present yourself. They know what you need. Uh, they know how they would fit into your team. And so they present themselves. You have a conversation about what their capabilities are and, uh, you know, getting sort of a getting to know you type thing. And so once you establish those relationships, when it's time to actually perform a healing session, they will come. You don't have to journey and go looking for them. They will come when you want them to, and the ones that are necessary for that day. So basically, it depends on what type of a situation you've got going on with the client. Uh, they know what the client needs, and so they don't necessarily all show up at the time of the session. The ones that are going to be pertinent to that session come in. And, I prepare the client, I set the stage, I do, all the ceremonial things. And then at some point, I turn it over to them and they begin doing the healing. And like you said, it's not necessarily something that you can see with your eyes happening. You see this with your third eye through the pineal gland. You're able to see the third eye. And so I'm able to see, and if I'm having a difficult time with that, I use this, and that's called a prophecy stone. I've had this for maybe 4 or 5 months, and it's a matter of getting used to. So whenever I'm having a difficult time seeing what's going on, I just hold this up to my third eye, and I can see it all, happening, what they're doing. And it's interesting because you kind of learn what to say and what not to say. I was conducting a healing session, and I said to one of my power animals, I'm looking inside this person's body, and I say to the power animal, which was a bobcat, I was like, "Is it supposed to look like that?" And it's kind of raised a little bit of an alarm with the client. So I've learned to, telepathically communicate for the most part with the power animals during the session, because you don't want the client to be the least bit concerned with what's physically happening to them. All they need to know is that they're going to, whenever they come out of the trance, so to speak, they'll be alleviated from whatever problem they had coming in.
Yes, and that is what I felt after the session with you. Yeah, I was surprised when you told me which animals were involved in there. I will not reveal it now, but I remember also doing a meditation before. to identify those power animals. And yeah, I love that. I would love for everyone in the inspired community to have this session with you to identify for those who don't know already their power animals. Yes, thank you so much. Wow, this is so amazing. So my next question is, who inspires you?
Who inspired me? Well, you know, I became a full-time practitioner earlier this year, early part of the year, and I moved to New Mexico 7 years ago, and that was my intention from the time that I moved out here was to do that, but I kept working and, doing other things that were taking that time away. So I I won't say I was inspired by any specific person because, as it turns out, as I've come to know in the last 10 to 12 years, I had chosen to be a shamanic healer between lifetimes. So that was my choice, and it was the job of my higher self and, other spirits to, get me to the point where I was doing that. And earlier this year, I was finally put in a position to where I became extremely ill and could not continue working my job in the corporate world. And so that ended. And I was ill for about a month and a half before I finally, got myself together. But I was actually healed by one of the archangels, Raphael. Um, I was I was too sick to heal myself, and so one day in March, early March, I was laying on the bed, and I don't know what was wrong with me, but one of the problems was I couldn't sleep, horribly fatigued, but I could not sleep. So I'm laying on the bed, unable to sleep, and I feel someone sit down on the foot of the bed on the other side. And I mean, it wasn't just a feeling; I could hear the springs creak, the whole 9 yards. And I'm thinking, oh my God, there's somebody in here with me. Um, the door was closed, so it wouldn't be either one of the dogs. So it was the Archangel Raphael who came to heal me and instill in me that, this is where everything needs to change. When you become capable, you will, establish a practice, a full-time practice, which is what you'll do, and teach people how to do this and so forth. So I guess you could say for this year anyway, the Archangel Raphael was probably the most key figure in why I'm doing this.
Oh, I love that very much. Yes, I heard of it before, of course. Yes, you made it visible for me. The archangel sitting there and helping you.
Mhm.
Wow, this is inspiring. So my next question is, how do you inspire others? You did with me, but what else can you offer?
Yeah, it's really, you know, I'm. It's like I tell, I go live every Wednesday, and what I tell people is, I'm not here to, preach to anyone and tell you what's right and what's wrong. I can give you information, insights, the things that I have experienced and I know, and you make up your own mind if that is going to work for you. Everybody isn't on the same page here. I mean, I have sent out invitations to people to be a part of the group, and ended up getting a lecture from them. You know, who do I think I am? And I'm wasting my time. I can't be a shaman for a variety of reasons. Da da da. And I don't get into arguments with anybody. It's like, well, your beliefs are your own. But what I meet individually with members of the group, and just to see if really shamanic healing is going to fit with their modality, with their existing practice. And one of the things that I've done, you know, is I come across every now and then members who have practices that aren't charging for what they do, and so I help them to establish a price list and ensure that because really it's not a matter of greed. A lot of people think, well, shamans shouldn't be charging anything for what they do. Um, that's kind of true, but honestly, you have to expect some sort, because you are putting out quality energy that is healing people, not just treating them, but you are healing people completely of certain conditions, and that has value on an energetic level. And so, you as a healer should expect to get that energy back in some form. Now, that can be bartering, it can be money, it can be, a service of their own. They may have a class that they instruct or a program. I've traded out programs with others as well. And so, that's the one thing that I feel that I've inspired more people about in the group is, you know, you should be expecting something in return for what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of positive feedback for
Yeah, at least let's say asking or making people aware that yeah, there has to be an energy exchange. And yeah, I was thinking about it as well, about what is the energy exchange, and is when you are vibrating and on a higher frequency,
that.
and you teach people, or you levitate, is this the word? I don't know. You level up people to your frequency, and what they pay for is this gap.
Mhm.
They get to your frequency. Yeah, this is how I understand the word energy exchange. So
Yes.
thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, and now your gifts and talents to the world, I think we know already.
Mhm.
And do you have a special offer? I know healing sessions and your Facebook group is amazing. People can reach out to you. You said already through Facebook. It's your favorite um, channel or social media
Mhm.
platform. Yes. What else can you present
Yeah.
to us?
So, when is this going to be posted? Is it going to be this week? This interview?
This podcast is online on 19th of December. Yeah, it's the 28th episode. Yeah, immediately. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm willing to offer, for those who are interested in a healing, and like I said, it can be healing anything. And one of the things that I specialize in is un- unvaccinating people.
Mhm.
That is one of the things that I thought was going to really make it take off. And I've had quite a few people that have done that for, but not it hasn't exploded like it should. So anyone who is not an existing practitioner that is just looking for a healing session, I will offer that to you at half price. And all you have to do is to reach out to me on Facebook DM with the word spirit,
Mhm.
and between now and the end of this month, and I will give you 50% off a session. If you are an existing practitioner of any type and you're interested in joining the group that I have on Facebook, uh, just send me a DM, indicate you're a practitioner, and I'll send you the link to uh, answer some questions and become a member, and that's entirely free. Now, once they become a member, they would have until the end of this month, end of the year, 31st of December, to also give me the keyword spirit, and they will get 50% off the enrollment for that, my program. Now, the program itself is 6 modules, well, 7 modules actually, uh, altogether, but it would take you about 6 to 8 weeks to complete that. And once you have completed the modules, uh, you will be a functional shamanic healer. That's what I do, is I guide students through every step of the way. This isn't a doctrine to where it's okay, this must happen and this must happen. I tell you, okay, this is why we do this. This is why we don't do this. And you can do it if you want to, um, because every shaman is different. You get your own techniques, but the core of it all There are certain core aspects that you've got to observe and follow. And so, yeah, it's 50% off anything that I offer from now until the end of the year, just by DMing me on Facebook and using the keyword spirit.
Thank you so much. That is so generous. And I want to emphasize once again you call it unvaccinate, right? Is this the word?
Right.
Yeah. And I witnessed this and I can tell you this is unique. I never saw this before. I never experienced it. So reach out to Kris. This is really very, very special, extraordinary, and all at once. So I am very inspired by you, and we will talk again soon. Thank you so much, and
Thank
see
you for
you in the
having me.
next episode. Yeah, you're welcome. Always. Let's do this again every year.